All bad things must come to an end. Welcome back, everyone. This is Jason. Um, for the last few weeks, MotleyCrew.com has had up on their website a countdown to today. Um, been hinting at stuff, um, saying they were going to perform live at Jimmy Kimmel tonight, which I'll get to that in a little bit. They're going to be having a press conference today, uh, releasing information on what's going to be happening over the course of the next few years for Motley Crue. About a week ago, a little over a week ago, it was a tour poster was leaked onto the internet on Facebook and said all bad things must come to an end. Final tour, special guest special guest Alice Cooper, opening up for Motley Crue, and no no cities announced throughout the course of all this. No real information, anything. Um, just knew it's going to be a big announcement, press conference, everything. So earlier today was announced for the tour. And it wasn't just a tour; it was a whole shebang of stuff they talked about. It was they announced this first 72 shows of a U.S./Canadian tour, starting in July and ending in November, um, all over the U.S. I think they're covering just about every city imaginable that you could cover. I mean, I'm just outside Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and not a lot of bands come to Milwaukee anymore, and they're actually hitting three big cities in Wisconsin on this tour. That makes me feel really good as a Motley Crue fan. I know I'm going to try to catch one of them at least, if not more. We'll see. uh, but yeah, and this is pretty cool. This is actually, as much of an icon as Alice Cooper is. This is actually the first time that they've ever toured together, and to go out now. This is just the first leg of this tour. Who knows who they're going to play with in Europe, Australia, Japan, wherever else they're going to hit. Antarctica. Who knows? Oh hell, Metallica just played there, so why not, right? Uh, who knows where they're all going to play over the course of the next 2, maybe even 3 years. We'll see how long it drags out. I mean, this is it. This is it for Motley Crue. They didn't want to just fade off into the sunset and have the band keep going and not have all the original members together and not put 100% into this. They want to go out with their pride and their dignity intact and saying, we did it our way. We went out when we wanted to, not because the fans didn't give a crap about us anymore, or we couldn't put everything into a show that we could anymore. Come here. Shadow wants to get in on this too. Don't you? You like Motley Crue? Well, maybe not a Motley Crue fan. Nonetheless, you had to get in on this. So yeah, press conference. They announced the tour, Alice Cooper opening, and they started out the press conference with a bunch of, for lack of better words, you can call a bunch of legal mumbo jumbo. They had their lawyer up there, their manager up there. The tour the tour is sponsored by Dodge. They had someone from Dodge there, um, and they actually also were talking about a movie, The Dirt, which is based on their book, The Dirt, that came out oh just over just over 10 years ago, 12 years ago. And the director for the movie that's finally in production, they didn't give a lot of details out about it, but the director was there, and they're working on finalizing the script, and then they said they're gonna work on um, actors and stuff, and that'll be really interesting once this is all comes to fruition, because that book is just sick. It really is. I haven't read it in a long time. I'm gonna have to pick it up again. I've got it buried somewhere with the rest of my books. That book, you you have to have a strong stomach to get through that book. You seriously do. There's some sick stuff in there. It's a great book. If you're a Motley Crue fan, you have to read the book. I mean, it's low down, dirty of some of the most horrific, amazing rock and roll stories in history from that band. It's just nuts. So, yeah, that movie is going to get made. They also announced someone who's working with 11-7 Records and Motley Records, and I can't remember the name of the record company, but it's a country music record company, and they're going to be doing a country tribute record for Motley Crue. And they announced some of the names that were already lined up to be on there, promised to be on the album. Um, not all of them, but they listed some of the names. Florida Georgia Line is one of the big up and coming country bands. I like some country. I actually like that band. A lot of energy, a lot of rockin' southern country energy. I like them. Brantley Gilbert, I like him a lot. Kind of a young Leonard Skinner type of sound, rocking good stuff. Leanne Rhymes, just before the press conference went live, I guess, talked to the guy and wants to get in on it too. So there's just a few names that are going to be on there. Great talents. Should be really interesting to hear their country interpretation on some of the Motley Crue's biggest hits. And then they brought out the band. Well, first they brought out Alice Cooper and talked to him just a little bit, and just saying, when they started out, it was such a big theatrical icon such as Alice Cooper, and then when Motley Crue came out, um, you could almost call them some of Alice Cooper's bastard sons, taking after him and all the theatrics and the makeup, really putting on a hell of a show, and they still do. I mean, if you haven't seen them lately, just YouTube some of it. Seriously, just some of the stuff, the flames, the explosions, the roller coasters, everything, the lights. It's a hell of a show. I went back and I looked at my scrapbook, um, and I know I'm missing a couple shows in there, one or two shows, but I've seen them like 5 or 6 times, and I can guarantee you, every time they put on a show, it was never boring. They were the first, no, excuse me, no. They were the second concert that I had ever seen. Was there, this is back when I was in high school, a long time ago, well over 20 years ago, 89, the Dr. Feelgood tour, top of their game. Lean, Mean, Sober Machine with Warrant opening up downtown Milwaukee at the Bradley Center. Man, great concert. Even saw them with John Corabi leading in '94. Saw their big comeback in '97. Greatest Hits tour in '99, 2000. I think I saw them one more time after that. But nonetheless, I've seen them a bunch of times. one of my favorite bands ever. Definitely in the top, 2, 3 bands that I love. And this is, like I said, this is it. They're calling it quits. They're going out on top, and they're hitting everywhere they possibly can, and they're trying to make it as affordable too. They're trying to make, some of the cheapest ticket sales are 15, $20. And I have no budget right now, but I'm going to find a way to go. um, oh, and then to top off everything from the press conference, they signed with their management lawyers, signed a legal binding document to say that once this is done and they're done touring at the end of all this, 2 to 3 years, whatever it takes to, wrap up this tour, it's not a farewell tour, because they say too many bands have done a farewell tour and then they come back and do a half-ass job. The Crue's not doing that. They're pulling a Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, if I can use a wrestling reference here. They're retiring and they're not coming back, which is, we've seen other bands do that. Like Kiss did a big final farewell tour. What are they doing? Touring every year. And they're doing an okay job at it, but it's not the originals, and, well, you lied to your fans, Motley Crue's intentions are, once this tour is done, they're not going to go back on their word. No one from the band is going to be able to use the name ever again as Motley Crue and tour behind that name ever again. That's it. It was a hard pill to swallow to watch this press conference today. It's like, it made me excited because I want to go see this tour. This is the last time they're doing it. And yet, it made me think back to all the times I'd seen them before. I've been a fan of theirs since before high school, back in the 80s, and seeing them go from almost dying to, come back clean, sober, rocking the Moscow Music Peace Festival. It was like the Moscow's, version of Woodstock. And saw them live right after that, on the Dr. Feelgood tour, and man, and they're still kicking ass. They're unbelievable. And man, I'm getting a lump in my throat right now just thinking about it. I love music. I love music about as much as I love wrestling. And just to think that one of your favorite bands of all time is calling it quits is, I'm happy for them now. It's good to do it this way. Then, oh, yeah, they drew 15 people at the local state fair corn dog, show. You don't want to go out like that, or playing dinky clubs. No, this is it. Big gigs, big shows, the movie, country tribute record. And they're doing it their way. They're going out on top with their pride and their dignity intact. So, yeah, it's bittersweet, but it's exciting. I'm very excited to see this. It's sad, but exciting at the same time. So if you're a Motley Crue fan out there, a hard rock, heavy metal fan out there, thanks for watching this. What do you think about the big announcement and the final tour? Are they coming to your town? They're coming here. And definitely going to go see them, all right? Thanks for watching.